Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Native Echo Podcast, where we make English simple and enjoyable. I am Harper, and today I am flying solo, which means it is just you and me. So get comfortable, grab your drink, and let us get into it. This is episode 8 of our 1000 plus English pattern series. And if you are new here, welcome. In this series, we take real, everyday English patterns, the kind that native speakers use without even thinking about it, and we break them down together so you can start using them naturally in your own conversations. Today, we have two chunks. Chunk 1 is I am about to, and chunk 2 is I was like. And I promise you, by the end of this episode, both of these will feel completely natural to you. Not just something you recognize when you hear it, but something you actually want to say. Okay, let us start with chunk 1. Chunk 1, I am about to. So this morning, I was at the coffee shop near my apartment. I had my bag, I had my order ready in my head. I walked up to the counter, the cashier smiled at me, and I opened my bag to get my card. And it was not there. I checked every pocket, every little zip, nothing. And I just stood there thinking, I am about to have the most embarrassing moment of my entire week. That feeling, you know that feeling, when something is happening and you cannot stop it, and you can already see exactly how it is going to go. That is the feeling behind I am about to. It means something is going to happen very soon. Not tomorrow, not later, right now, in the next few seconds. It is immediate future. It is urgent. It is now. Let me give you the simplest explanation first, and then we will build from there. When you say, I am about to do something, you mean you are going to do it immediately, like right this second. The action is on the edge of happening. Compare these two sentences. I am going to call you versus I am about to call you. Both are future, but I am going to call could mean tonight, tomorrow, next week, sometime. I am about to call you means hang up whatever you are doing because my finger is already on your name. That is the difference. I am going to is general future. I am about to is right now future. And native speakers use this pattern constantly. In the morning, at work, in text messages, in phone calls, everywhere. Let me give you some really natural examples. I am about to eat. Can I call you after? She is about to leave. If you want to talk to her, hurry. We are about to start the meeting. Can everyone sit down, please? He is about to ask her something. Look at his face. I was literally about to text you. This is so strange. They are about to close. We need to go now. I am about to cry. This movie is too much. Notice something. In all of those examples, the action is happening right now, on the edge, almost there. That is the energy of I am about to. Now, let me show you the structure so it is very clear in your head. The pattern is this: subject, then the correct form of to be, then about to, then the base verb. So, I am about to eat. You are about to laugh. He is about to leave. She is about to say something important. We are about to land. They are about to find out. The verb at the end is always the base form. Not eating, not eats, just eat. Not leaving, just leave. Base form, always. And this pattern works in questions too. Are you about to leave? Were you about to say something? Is she about to cry? And in negative sentences, I am not about to apologize for that. He is not about to give up. We are not about to let this go. Oh, and that negative form is really interesting because in English, I am not about to can also mean I refuse to do something. It is not just I am not going to do it right now. It has a strong feeling of I would never do that. For example, I am not about to let him treat me like that. That does not mean I literally cannot do it right now. It means I refuse. It is not happening. No way. Or, she is not about to apologize after what he said, meaning do not expect that. It will not happen. So, I am not about can be used two ways. The literal way, meaning something is not about to happen right now, and the expressive way, meaning I refuse. Do not even expect it. Both are very natural. Both are used all the time. Let me also talk about the past form for a second because this one comes up a lot and is very useful. Instead of I am about to, you use I was about to. And this means you were very close to doing something, but then something changed or something stopped you. I was about to call you when my phone died. She was about to leave when he walked in. I was about to say the exact same thing. You took the words right out of my mouth. We were about to give up, and then it finally worked. I was about to cry, and then something funny happened, and I started laughing instead. So, I was about tells a mini story. Something was on the edge of happening, and then something else happened. It creates a little bit of suspense in conversation, and people use it all the time when they are telling stories or explaining what almost happened. I want to give you one more thing before we move on, and that is how this pattern sounds in real fast spoken English. Because when native speakers talk quickly, I am about to often becomes about to, but the words connect together, and it sounds almost like I'm about to, very smooth, very fast. And sometimes you will hear people say I'm about to in very casual speech. About to. That is just a shortened version of about to, and it is very common in informal conversation. About to head out. See you later. He is about to lose it. Look at his face. You do not have to say it this way, but if you hear it, now you know what it means. Okay, let me give you some practice sentences now. I am going to say a situation, and you finish the thought using I am about to or I was about to. Just say it out loud. Do not worry if it is not perfect. Just try. Situation 1. You are sitting at your desk. Your lunch break is in 1 minute. Someone asks you a question. What do you say? You could say something like, I am about to take my break. Can we talk after? Situation 2. You were walking to the door to leave the house and your phone rang. You tell your friend about this later. What do you say? Something like, I was about to walk out the door when you called. Situation 3. You are in a movie theater. The movie is starting. Your friend is still talking. What do you tell them? Something like, it is about to start. Can you please stop talking? Great. These are simple. These are natural. And the more you say them out loud, the more automatic they become. Okay, quick recap before we go to chunk 2. I am about to means something is going to happen right now, immediately, on the edge. The structure is subject plus am, is, or are plus about to plus base verb. I was about to means you were close to doing something, but something changed. The negative, I am not about to, can mean the action is not happening right now, or it can mean I refuse. It depends on the context and tone. And in casual speech, you might hear about to instead of about to. Same meaning, more informal. All right, let us move to chunk 2. Chunk 2. I was like, okay, I want to tell you about a conversation I had last week. I ran into an old friend I had not seen in maybe 2 years. We saw each other at the supermarket, of all places, and she asked me how things were going. And I said, fine. And she said, just fine? You seem different. And I was like, different how? And she was like, I do not know, more relaxed. And I was like, honestly, yeah, I think I am. Did you notice what I did there? I said I was like 3 times in that little story, and it sounded completely natural, right? Because I was like is one of the most common expressions in spoken English. And yet, so many English learners have never been taught how to use it. So let us fix that right now. I was like is a reporting expression. It means I said, or I thought, or I reacted. You use it when you are telling someone about a past conversation or a past moment, and you want to recreate what happened in a natural storytelling way. Think about it this way. Imagine you are with your friend and you want to tell them about something that happened to you. You could say, I said to her, I do not understand this. But that sounds a little stiff, a little formal. Instead, a native speaker would say, I was like, I do not even understand this. Same information, but it sounds alive. It sounds like a real story. I was like is what makes storytelling in English feel natural and spontaneous. It pulls the listener into the moment. It makes them feel like they were there. Let me give you the structure first. You use I was like when you are in the past, telling a story. The structure is simple: subject, was or were, like, and then whatever you said, thought, or felt at that moment. I was like, Are you serious right now? She was like, I had no idea. He was like, Okay, fine, whatever. We were all like, What just happened? I was like, I cannot believe this. And here is something really important. I was like does not only mean I said, it can also mean I thought, or I felt, or my reaction was. So sometimes when someone says I was like, they are not quoting words they said out loud. They are expressing an internal reaction. For example, I opened the email and I was like, oh no. Maybe she did not say, oh no, out loud. She just felt it. She just thought it. And I was like captures that perfectly. Or he looked at the bill and he was like, how is this possible? Again, maybe he did not say those words. That was just his reaction, his feeling in that moment. So I was like is very flexible. It can be spoken words, it can be thoughts, it can be feelings, and the context will always make it clear which one it is. Now, let me show you how this sounds in a full story, because that is where I was like really shines. Stories. Okay, so I was at the gym last month, and this is a true story, by the way. I was on the treadmill, I had my headphones in, my music was playing, everything was good. And then the person next to me started talking to me, and I could not hear them at all. I just had this music going. So I looked at them and I was like, sorry, what? And they repeated themselves, but I still could not hear clearly. So I was like, haha, yeah, just agreeing, nodding, and they walked away smiling. And I still do not know what we agreed about. Did you hear how naturally I was like fit into that story? Every time there was a reaction, every time I wanted to show you what was happening in my head, I used I was like. And it made the story feel immediate. It made it feel real. It made you feel like you were at the gym with me. That is the magic of I was like in storytelling. Now, let me give you some more examples in mini stories so you can really hear the pattern. Example 1. I got to the airport and I was like, wait, is today really the day I fly? I had completely forgotten. Example 2. She called me at 7 in the morning on a Sunday, and I was like, who is calling me right now? And then I saw it was her, and I was like, okay, something is wrong. She never calls this early. Example 3. He showed me the price, and I was like, I am sorry, how much? And he said it again, and I was like, okay, I need a minute. Example 4. I was sitting at my desk working, and my colleague walked in and she was like, have you eaten today? And I was like, oh, I had genuinely forgotten to eat. Example 5. We got to the restaurant, and the waiter was like, I am sorry, we are fully booked. And we were all like, but we made a reservation. And he was like, I know, I am so sorry. And we were like, okay, so what do we do now? You see how naturally it flows? Every single reaction, every moment of surprise or confusion or realization, I was like, is there for it. Now, let us talk about the present version, because you can also use I am like in present situations. For example, if you are telling someone about how you generally feel in a type of situation, every time I hear that song, I'm like, this is my song, turn it up. When someone cancels plans last minute, I'm like, honestly, relief. When my alarm goes off on Monday morning, I'm like, no, absolutely not. 5 more minutes. So I am like is for habitual feelings, how you react every time something happens. And I was like is for past stories, a specific moment that already happened. Both versions are very common. Both are very natural. Now I want to talk about one more thing, and that is the tone you use with I was like, because the tone changes everything. I was like, okay. Said neutrally, it means you accepted something. I was like, okay. Said with a flat, tired voice, it means you were not happy about it, but you went along. I was like, are you serious? With a high, surprised voice, it means you were shocked. I was like, are you serious? With a slow, low voice, it means you were not impressed. You were unimpressed or even a little annoyed, because I was like recreates the moment. The tone you use recreates the emotion. So when you practice this, play with your tone. Make it dramatic, make it funny, make it tired, make it surprised. That is how native speakers use it. They perform the moment a little bit. And that is what makes storytelling in English so engaging and fun. Listeners, I want you to try something right now. Think of a small thing that happened to you recently. Yesterday, this morning, last week, anything. And tell the story out loud using I was like at least once. Just say it, even if no one is listening, even if it feels a little strange. Say it out loud. For example, I got on the bus this morning and my card did not work, and I was like, oh, come on, not today. Simple, real, natural. Or, I checked my phone this morning and I had 17 messages, and I was like, what happened while I was sleeping? Just try it. The more you practice in real situations, even imagined ones, the faster this pattern becomes part of how you actually speak. Okay, quick recap of chunk two. I was like means I said, or I thought, or my reaction was. It is used when you are telling a story or describing a past moment. The structure is subject plus was or were plus like plus your words, thoughts, or reaction. It can also be used in present as I am like to describe habitual reactions. Every time this happens, I am like. The tone you use with I was like carries a lot of the meaning. Practice saying the same phrase with different tones and notice how the feeling changes. Now, let me bring both chunks together before we close out. Chunk one, I am about to. Something is happening right now, immediately, on the edge of happening. Chunk two, I was like. A reaction, a word, a feeling in a past story, or a general habitual moment. And here is something fun. These two patterns can actually work together in the same story. Watch. So I was sitting at the coffee shop this morning, right? I had my bag out, I was ready to pay. I opened my bag to get my card, and it was not there. And I was like, no, please no, not now. And the cashier was looking at me, and I was like, I am so sorry, give me 1 second. And I was checking every pocket, and I was about to just walk away in embarrassment when I found it. It was in my jacket pocket the whole time. And the cashier was like, there you go. And I was like, thank you, I am sorry, goodbye. And I left so fast. That whole story used both patterns. I was like for the reactions and the feelings and the words, and I was about to for the moment right before I found the card. And together, they made the story feel real and natural and alive. That is how English storytelling actually works, not perfect grammar recited from a book. Real patterns used together in real moments. All right, everyone, let us do our final word tour for today. I am about to. Use this when something is happening immediately, right now, on the edge. I am about to leave. She is about to say something. We are about to start. I was about to. Use this when you were close to doing something, but something changed. I was about to call you. He was about to give up. I am not about to. Use this to say something is not happening right now or to say you refuse. I am not about to apologize. She is not about to let that go. I was like. Use this in stories to recreate what you said, thought, or felt. And I was like, Are you serious? She was like, I had no idea. I am. Use this for habitual reactions. Every time that happens, I am like, Here we go again. Those 5 forms together cover so much of real English conversation. Practice them this week. Use them when you are talking to someone. Use them when you are telling a story. Use them even when you are just thinking in English. And if you want to practice right now, go to the comments and write a short little story using I was like or I am about to. It does not have to be long. 1 or 2 sentences is perfect. We read every single comment, and seeing you practice makes the whole thing worth it. Thank you so much for spending time with me today on Native Echo Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and give it a like. It genuinely helps us reach more learners like you. And share this with a friend who is learning English. These patterns are going to help them sound so much more natural. I will see you in the next episode. Keep practicing, keep listening, and remember, you do not need perfect English. You just need real English. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.